How did these unsophisticated voting machines end up all over Ohio for the 2004 elections? And why are they still being used here in 2006?
It's an organization that operates very close to the vest. It's a big company in Ohio, and they know what and they protect their interests.
In August 2003, Diebold CEO Wally Odell attended a strategy meeting at President Bush's ranch in Crawford, Texas. I would have attended, but my schedule was packed. A week later, Wally invited 100 people to his mansion in Upper Arlington, Ohio for a $1,000 a plate fundraiser, writing that he was committed to helping Ohio deliver its electoral votes to the president next year. The next day, Republican Secretary of State Ken Blackwell authorized Diebold to be one of 3 electronic voting machines in Ohio's 2004 election in a contract worth $100 million. He was promptly sued by another manufacturer for unfairly favoring Diebold in the bidding process. Ken Blackwell's financial disclosure forms later revealed that he owned 178 shares of stock in Diebold.
This is a conflict of interest. In most states, if you're holding somebody's stock and you negotiate a unbid contract with them, you go to jail. In Ohio, you apparently get to run for governor.
But besides voting machines, Diebold also makes machines that count paper ballots, tabulate votes, and more.
And there's all of these other voting machine companies in America, ES&S, Sequoia, Hart InterCivic, who are no better and who are, in many cases, even worse companies.
Something I was realizing was that Ohio and many other states have been increasingly farming out the jobs of our elections to private corporations.
We have a new gimmick in America. It used to be that we, the people, would handle our own elections. We would elect the government, which would then handle elections. Now we've privatized it. We've put it out to bid, just like the contracts in Iraq, okay? And like the contracts in Iraq where the money goes missing, here the votes seem to go missing. You're not supposed to see this. This is a proprietary printout sheet of a private company that's tallying the votes. And as we send out to private companies the tally for the vote, all the precincts go in, and a private company adds it all up. And we hope that our votes influence their decision. Okay, this is precinct 9D in a county in New Mexico. And there's the Bush-Cheney total. There's the Cobb total. I don't know who Perutka is. Darnick and Nader. Where's John?
Oh, John Kerry.
There's no John. Yeah, I remember he ran for president. He's not listed, okay? He's been electronically zapped. Not there. So you don't know that. The totals come out, and you don't get this sheet.
And where did you get it then?
Well, that's called investigative reporting. People slip it out the back doors to me. Unfortunately, and people say I'm courageous. That's not true. It's the people that turn this stuff over to me that are courageous.
This privatization and corporatization of secret software that nobody can ever see how they work. Even the people who use the systems, the election officials, they don't have a clue.
Voting is not a commercial enterprise. It's not supposed to be a for-profit operation. You can fire your elected officials. You can look at their processes using the Freedom of Information Act. You can't file a Freedom of Information Act on the private contractors. These guys know it.
It's completely 100% faith-based voting, and it's, like waiting every 4 years for the magical election fairy to come down and tell us who won, and we're all supposed to go, oh, okay.
And in Ohio, Ken Blackwell's privatization of elections was state-of-the-art. Blackwell outsourced his 2004 election results webpage to be designed and maintained by GovTech, a company run by Mike Connell, who has worked for the Bush family since the 80s. His other firm, New Media, serves a who's who of Republicans.
Bush-Cheney 2000, Bush-Cheney 2004, Ohio Republican Party, Ohioans for Blackwell, Republican National Committee.
A side project of Mike Connell's was the website Swift Boat Veterans for Truth. But the fact that the world got the Ohio election results from a website made by the same web designer smearing Bush's opponent wasn't the only suspect thing on election night.
The web servers for the election results in Ohio were suddenly moved in the middle of the night, I think around 1 a.m. or so. It moved from Ohio to Tennessee. The entire business of reporting these numbers on the web, where media and the rest of America actually take them from, was being run by this far-right, wacko, partisan web server company.
Some of the other websites that Smart Tech was hosting were
GeorgeWBush.com, RNC.org, GOP.com, OhioGOP.com, Newt.org, GingrichProductions.com, AmendForArnold.org.
We shouldn't be surprised because you had such a far right-wing wacko as the Secretary of State, J. Kenneth Blackwell, in Ohio. So it was little surprise that that's the sort of company that he would work with to oversee, in a fair and impartial manner, the presidential election in Ohio in 2004.
the election results might as well have been emailed to the Republican Party before being officially reported. And in the upcoming 2006 election, Ken Blackwell would be sending the results out of state to the same Smart Tech servers again. So, in 2004, Ken Blackwell, the man running the presidential election in Ohio, while co-chair of George Bush's campaign, certifies dubious voting machines from a guy who really wants Bush to win, sends the results out of state to the Bush campaign's servers, then reports the results through a website designed by a guy who's already making websites lying about Bush's opponent. With the only difference in 2006 being that it's now Ken Blackwell's own election. Does all of this give you confidence that the vote totals will totally not be tampered with? I don't know. I'm just some dude. I wasn't even in Ohio in 2004. Even if I was, I couldn't have been in all 88 counties at the same time. But neither were you.